Hi, welcome to my video on extra problems with standard form part 1. And again, just to remind you that at any time you can pause the video and work these out on your own first to see if you can get the answers. Prove that the center of the circle, x minus 2 all squared, y plus 9 all squared equals 49. The center of the circle lies on the line 3x minus 2y equals 24. So the way to prove this is find the center of the circle, and if you sub that center or the x and y values into the line and it makes the equation true, that means that the center must lie on this line. So here we go. The equation of the circle is right here, so that means the center of this circle is going to be 2 comma negative 9. This is the opposite of the x of the negative 2 and the opposite of the plus 9. So if we sub that as x and y, which is the same as the h comma k, so we sub them into the equation, and let's see, x is 2, y is negative 9, that's a 6, plus 18 equals 24, 24 equals 24, true. So it's true, proved. Since the point 2, negative 9 satisfies the equation, then the center lies on the line. Okay, let's try another one. A circle has a center of 1, negative 3 with a radius of 10. If 7 comma k lies on the circle, find the values of k. Okay, so again, the point lies on the circle. So we'll find the equation. So this is hk, and that's the radius. So the equation is x minus h all squared, y minus k all squared equals r squared. So it's an x, and that's a 1, so that's a minus 1 squared. That's negative 3, so it's a y plus 3 squared equals, the radius is 10, so 10 squared is 100. So that's the equation that represents this circle. So if we take the point 7 comma k, and now that's x and y, so x is 7, y is k, sub that into this equation, so x is 7 and y is k, so subbing that point in makes the equation true. So now we'll solve it for k and we'll have the answers. So that's a 6 squared. So I'll just take my time, one step at a time. That's 36. And now we have k plus 3 squared is 100 minus 36. And that means that k plus 3, move the 36 to the right, make it negative, that's 64. So the square root of k plus 3 squared is plus minus the square root of 64. So k plus 3 equals the square root of x plus 3 squared is, k plus 3 squared is k plus 3 plus minus 8. So k is equal to negative 3 plus or minus 8. That means k is equal to negative 3 plus 8 or negative 3 minus 8. So k is 5 or k is the negative 11. So that's the values of k. So if you take the k is 5, if you take the point 7, 5, k is 5, and sub into this equation, then it'll make it true. Or if we take a negative 11 and put it right here, 7 and a negative 11 lies on the circle. Okay. Number 3, find the values of k if k, comma k lies on the circle that's represented by this equation. And then also state the ordered pairs that lie on the circle. Okay, so this is x and that's y. So let's sub k is x and k is y equals 25. So the x and the y coordinates are equal. So we have to find those values. So now let's square this. We can do it two ways. We can go x plus 1, k plus 1 times k plus 1, k plus 2 times k plus 2. So we can do a FOIL on that. Is k times k, k squared, k times 1, 1k, 1 times k, 1k, 1 times 1, 1, k times k, k squared, k times 2, 2 times k, 2 times 2, and we can tidy that up now. So we got 2k squared, k, 1, that's a 1, 1, 2, 2, so that's a 6k. 1 plus 4 is 5. And 2k is a quadratic, so I will move the 25 to the left to make it negative. So I get 2k squared plus 6k minus 20 equals 0. 2 is a common factor, so I'll take the 2 out. We always removed the GCF first if it's there, and we have a quadratic, so we're going to factor. And k squared and 20, the product is negative 20. The sum is 3. So let's see, we can find those factors. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. And what pair of factors? Oh, that's a 10. Oh, I just noticed. This didn't work. I couldn't get it. There's no factors of 20 to give me a 3. So I looked back and I discovered that when I took the 2 out, when I factored the 2 out, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 6 divided by 2 is 3, negative 20 divided by 2 is 10. So it's the factors of 10. So it's a 1 times 10, 2 times 5. So the product is negative 10 and the sum is 3. So we got a k and a k. It's 5 and 2 will multiply to give you 10. But we got to be negative. And because it's negative 10, it has to be positive and negative. So it's a positive 5, negative 2. Now 2 can't be equal to 0. So k plus 5 equals 0. Or k minus 2 is equal to 0. So k is negative 5 or k is 2. And again, 2. 2 equals 0 can't be because that's a constant. So if you divide by 2, then you just get these two expressions equal to each other. So 2 has no value of k, so we just ignore it as a constant. So 2, so the ordered pairs are negative 5, negative 5, or and, I shouldn't say or, because both of them 2, 2. So these are the ordered pairs that lie on this circle. -5, -5, 2, 2. So if you take 2, 2 and sub in here, you'll get a 25. If you take -5, -5 and sub in here, you'll get 25. So these are the two ordered pairs that make this true. And a little error there, but again, if you make an error, go over it and see if you can find it. Check it out. And so I'll just go back to here. Let's just try the 2, 2, just for a second. 2 plus 1 over 2. 2 plus 1 squared, add on. 2 plus 2 squared equals 25. So I'm going to just check one of them, just to make sure. 3 squared, 4 squared, 9 plus 16, 25. So 25 on each side. So if 2, 2 is right, we can say probably that -5 is right. So just a quick check. Find the coordinates number 4. Find the coordinates of the x and y intercepts of this equation. This equation, x and y intercepts, represents a circle. And this circle has a center of -5 and 12. And it also has a radius, which is the square root of 169, which is 13. So if you had graph paper and you could plot the center and have a radius of 13, then you can see what points it passed through. But doing it with a compass is not a good way, because it might not be accurate. Now these are good here, because I've set them up to be good points. So the algebra is always a good way. So let's do the X-intercepts algebraically. So the X-intercepts is when we have y equals 0. So the X-intercepts is when we make y equal to 0. So we make y equal to 0, so we get x plus 5. And that's a -12 squared. You work out the inside the bracket first, PEMDAS. -12 squared is 144. So x plus 5 squared is 169 minus 144. X plus 5 squared is 25. So the square root of x plus 5 squared is plus minus the square root of 25. That's the quadratic unit that we did. X plus 5 equals plus or minus 5. X equals -5 plus or minus 5. So x equals -5 plus 5, or -5 minus 5. X equals 0, or -10. So if you think about it, here we go. So x is 0 and x is -10 when y is 0. So that's the x-intercepts. But notice we have a 0, 0. So if that's an x-intercept, that's a y-intercept, because 0, 0 is the origin, and is the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Okay, let's find the y-intercepts. So the y-intercepts is when you let x equals 0. So you take the equation and you let x equals 0. There's the equation. We're putting x equals 0 in, and we're solving it for y. And x plus 5 is 5. 5 squared is 25. So we're just solving for y now. So x minus 12 squared minus 25. Y minus minus 12 squared is 144. So the square root of y minus 12 squared plus minus the square root of 144. Y minus 12 squared is plus minus 12. Oh, square is not supposed to be there. The square root of y minus 12 squared is just y minus 12. So that means y equals 12 plus or minus 12. Y equals 12 plus 12 or 12 minus 12. So that's a 24. And that's a 0. So these ordered pairs. Again, y is 24. Y is 0. And x is 0 for each of these. Because the y-intercept is when we have x is 0. So we have two values of y. So we have, notice that the x-intercepts are 0, 0 or negative 10, 0. The y-intercepts are 0, 24, 0, 0. So we have the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts because we have 0, 0, 0, 0s at the origin, which is both the x-intercept and the y-intercepts. Again, that was the second one. It's sort of, notice that each video has different variety of questions because there's so many questions that you can give. I just give you a sample of these questions based on the math we've learned. And notice the circle unit is reviewing the quadratics, reviewing the math that you've learned earlier. And if you liked my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.